Okay, we're talking about constants again, but now we're talking about a constant multiplied by a function. So what that means really is just any function that we can take out a factor of. Okay, so any function that we could take some factor out of to make a simpler function. Okay, so an example might be, e.g., from a to b of a half x squared with respect to x. Okay, so this really is, all we care about here is the part that has the variable in there. We don't really care about that because it doesn't change the integral in that respect. It doesn't make it any more difficult. It just goes along with the party. Okay, so the half is just a constant multiplier out the front of whatever happens. So what happens here is that if we're to find the integral of x squared, okay, then the integral of that is we bump that up by 3, so x cubed. We divide by 3. But because the half is there, well, the half's got to stay. Okay. And this is from a to b. Remember this way in which we expressed it last lesson. But you notice there that the half stay there. If that was a third, that would be a third. If that was 100, that would be 100. It has no relevance on the actual variable element of the function. So because of that, we could have actually said, I'll go over here. Well, we can just take out the half from the integral, a to b. Take the easy part that makes it look complicated out of the integral, and let's just focus on finding the integral of the actual simplified function. Okay? So if we had something that, that is a simple version, I suppose. If we had something that looked a bit more complicated, for example, the integral of, let's go for 0.62 x plus 1 squared on 3 with respect to x. Now that looks complicated, but a lot of the complication there comes from just these crazy numbers everywhere. And if I look at this, the main variable element of this is just this component here. I'll do it in red. That's the bit that we need to integrate. This stuff here, it's just extra faff. So what we do is we get that out and make it look easier. Okay, not really making it easier, but it's making it look easy. So I take that out, and then I leave the bit that I'm actually needing to do something with inside the integral. Okay, so this now becomes something simpler. This just is always going to keep, it doesn't disappear. It just stays there out the front, and we deal with it once we get to the end if we need to simplify. So we go 0.62 on 3, and then I can think about integrating this. This was from a to b, so a to b, and it's a chain rule, so I've got to add a power to that and then divide by the power. So 1 on 3, x plus 1, power of 3, and then I've got to divide by the derivative of that, which is just 1. So divide by 1. 1 on 1 is dividing by 1. Doesn't do much. Okay, so by taking out extra complications, it can often make the formula easy to deal with. Okay, so think about that whenever you can.